Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Growing Bonds podcast. Today's episode is one that I believe every parent can relate to because no matter how loving or intentional we are, our children will sometimes make poor choices. But the real question is how do we respond in a way that corrects behavior, builds character, and still protects the relationship? Let me take you into our home just a few days ago. Last weekend, our daughter had two friends over for a sleepover. They were giggling, chatting, doing the usual 10-year-old things, and I ended up falling asleep while putting her younger brother to bed. My husband stayed up a bit longer, but around 10:30 the house had quieted down. Or so we thought. What we didn't know was that the girls had taken one of the laptops from the office and stayed up until 3 a.m. watching silly YouTube videos. At some point in the night, my husband thought he heard music. He knocked on the door and one of the friends came to open it. He asked if they were watching something and she said no, so he didn't push it further. The next morning, he shared the incident with me, and something didn't sit right. So I checked the office and one laptop was missing. When I found it in her room, I checked the history, and sure enough, video after video had been watched from 10:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. I wasn't just disappointed by the sneaky screen time, what truly concerned me was the lie. So I decided to give the girls a chance. When they woke up, I asked them, "How was the sleepover? What activities did you do last night?" They shared a few things: painting, talking, snacking, writing songs. I asked more than once, "Is that everything you did?" Still, no mention of the screen. That's when I gently told them what I knew. I had found the laptop, I had seen the history. It was clear. Now, this is where the parenting moment really began. I told my daughter that first she would need to repay the time she had taken. She usually has 30 minutes of screen time per day. That night, she has used 4.5 hours. That's 9 days' worth. So for the next 9 days, there would be no screen time. But we also needed to address something deeper: the lie and the breaking of trust. Sleepovers are something she loves, so we told her that the next sleepover she's invited to, she'll have to skip. Not to punish her, but to give her the time to truly reflect. We believe that by taking time to reflect on her actions, she'll begin to understand that trust is something you earn. And when it's broken, there are consequences. So, what worked well in our approach, and what can other parents take away from it? We didn't yell, we didn't shame, we explained everything clearly. Because when children mess up, and they will mess up, our job is to teach, not just to punish, to help them understand the why, not to just enforce the what. These were our guiding thoughts. The screen consequence was logical. You take extra time, you owe the time back. Simple. The sleepover consequence was about restoring trust. It was something meaningful to her, and that makes it a moment she's likely to remember. Throughout the whole ordeal, we stayed connected. We spoke with clarity and calm, and we never used anger. Because we want our daughter to walk away from this knowing mistakes happen, but honesty, accountability, and repair are what truly matters. All of this got me thinking not just about this moment, but about the bigger picture. What really helps children learn from their mistakes? Let me share a few reflections I've gathered both from this experience and from my work with families. Correction should never come from anger. Children cannot learn where they feel threatened or ashamed. As parents, it is vital to remember that it is calm correction that makes space for growth. Always offer a chance for truth. Give your child a moment to be honest. Even if they don't take it, they'll remember that they could have. Lies diminish the power of their words, and chances are they'll think twice next time before choosing to lie. The most important thing is to correct them with love and facts rather than with finger pointing. Give them the consequence that makes sense. When possible, link the consequence directly to the behavior because understanding is more important than just obedience. Talk the incident through. Instead of simply saying, "You're grounded, try this. Here's why this matters, and here's why we're choosing the consequence." When you take the time to explain, you shift from being a dictator in their eyes to becoming a guide or a partner in problem solving. When children feel respected and treated as thinking individuals, they're far more likely to cooperate, not out of fear, but out of trust. Allow space for repair. Ask, "What do you think you can do to rebuild trust?" Or, "What would you do differently next time?" This builds internal motivation, something we deeply want for our children. They believe that they can learn from and repair their mistakes. These are tools I've seen work again and again, but I also know that no approach is perfect. At the heart of it, it's not about getting everything right, it's about growing alongside our children because our little ones are still learning. And in truth, so are we as parents. Yes, our children will push boundaries, they will lie, they will mess up. But what matters is how we respond. When we hold firm to our values, explain our reasoning, and stay close, even in discipline, we build character, not fear. And maybe most importantly, we build trust. Trust that even when they stumble, they still find love, clarity, and a safe place to grow. Thank you for listening. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts or hear a story of your own. Feel free to reach out or to share this with another parent who might need to hear it. Until next time, stay calm, stay curious, and keep growing those bonds.